Okay, well, welcome. We have Jared Martin here, Rotary Club of Fresno Spotlight today. So, Jared, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I am a real estate broker, and I've been in real estate since, it's 19 years next month. I've been licensed, but I've been around real estate uh, essentially my entire life. My grandfather started a real estate brokerage or purchased real estate brokers in the mid 70s down in Tustin and Corona. And then in 1984, he moved to Fresno. And 86, my mother got a real estate license. And then in 2001, we had a family tragedy, and my mom called me and asked me to quit my current job and come and work for the family business. And so I did, and I've been doing that ever since.
And you currently serve on a board as well for the state?
So I am the immediate past president of the California Association of Realtors and serve on their executive committee. I serve on the National Association of Realtors Finance Committee. I'm the vice chairman there. And I am on the Fresno Association of Realtors Local Candidate Recommendation Committee. So I'm active with the Real Estate Association. I'm also very active um, within our city. I think so. I serve on the Foundation for Close Schools. So that's the fundraising arm for Close Unified School District. And then I'm also the vice chairman of Fresno First Bank.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
with Al.
Al Smith, your sponsor.
That's right.
The Rotary, yes. Yeah, you can't say no to Al.
That's right.
So tell us what's going on in the real estate market right now.
It's a little crazy. We've got about 21 days of supply. So if you talk to economists or real estate economists specifically, they'll tell you that a balanced real estate market's about 6 months of supply, and a buyer's market would be over 6 months of supply, and a seller's market would be less than 6 months of supply. So today we've got about 21 days of supply, and what that means is if no more homes were to come on the market, we'd be completely out of inventory in 21 days. It doesn't help that there's not a lot of building. I know that that locally we think, well, there's a lot of building going on, but the reality is it's not enough. And so in my discussions with the chief economist for the California Association of Realtors, she's indicated that this is a couple years ago, that we've got about a 1.8 million home deficit in the state. And so at that time, she said, Jared, we would need to build 180,000 homes every year for the next 10 years in order to catch up. And last year, for example, there were only, in 2019, 86,000 permits pulled in the state. And so we've got a real lack of supply. I also followed up my question to her with what would change that? How would we see this market change, and how would we see more supply hit the market? And she said, well, I think two things. Number one is if all the baby boomers died at once, then we would see surplus. She said, I don't think it's going to happen. Even with COVID, that hasn't happened, right? Or if we had a mass exodus to Texas or Arizona. And we're seeing some migration out of California, but not enough to really affect the supply.
Well, and I suppose COVID too, people not exactly having, multiple open houses has affected people selling. I mean, I suppose right now, if you're going to sell your home, where are you going to go?
That's right. And so the objections that I most often hear from people who want to sell their homes are, I don't want to do it now because of the uncertainty. Well, let me start with because of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people in my house. And I'm afraid of this. The next thing is uncertainty of the global economy. Jared, if I sell my house and buy up, I may not have my job, or what's going to happen to the economy. And the last objection that I hear, or most common objection, is where will I go? There's nothing for me to buy, and there's really nothing to rent. Vacancy in Fresno is very, very low. This fire has compounded that problem with all the folks who've lost their home in Shaver, Lake, and Huntington. My friends who are property managers are being overwhelmed with requests for rentals. And so we have right now, we have an extreme lack of supply in the local marketplace.
So it's a good time for somebody who's going to sell and say if they're going to move in with their kids or move back in with their parents, or or buy their parents' house from them and have their parents still live with them or something like that.
Or
Yeah.
move out of the area, right?
Well,
If it's time to leave California, it's a great time to sell. Not very much competition and a lot of buyers.
no, well, yeah, it's fun to hear about what's happening in your industry as other industries too. But yeah, yeah, our prayers go out to a lot of those people affected with these fires in Auberry too. It's been and throughout the Shaver Lake area as well.
It's scary.
Yeah, so Al Smith's your sponsor. You've been in Rotary a few years now. So how's it going?
It's going well. You know, my first year in Rotary was the year I was the president of the California Association of Realtors. And so I traveled a bunch. And so I didn't get to make it to as many of the meetings on Monday as I would have liked to. And then we had this 2020 happen with COVID. So I haven't been as active as I'd like to be.
Yeah,
But yeah,
well,
I'm looking forward to being more active as soon as we open up again. But
yeah,
Al is a sponsor and a very good friend. He and I have been on the board. I believe I've been on the board of Fresno First Bank for now 12 years. And so I've had the privilege of getting to know him over that time.
well, thank you for your service. Yeah, Al's a good guy. So tell us something about what's happening with you. Your son is off to college?
Yeah, I have two boys. I have one that's going to be or is a junior at Buchanan High School, and another one that will be a freshman at Northwestern. Both my boys wrestle, and my oldest boy will be wrestling for Northwestern. And on Friday, we drop him off. We take him to Chicago or Evanston, and he gets to move in the dorms. Fortunately, he gets to move in the dorms. They've made some accommodations for athletes, and so it'll be a great experience for him. I'm very excited for his future.
Yeah, Evanston brings it back to Rotary. That's Rotary headquarters is there. So, yeah. So, well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out and sharing with us what's happening in your world and the real estate market right now. So,
You're welcome. I appreciate you making time for me.
thanks. Thanks, Jerry.